Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing the opening of a Thai bank account. Specifically, I'm making this at the time of the coronavirus shutdown and also while we are under this automatic visa extension associated with coronavirus. It's also called the visa amnesty, the Thai visa amnesty, the Thai visa waiver. So currently, visa holders, and there's some nuance to this, and I've gone into great detail on that in another video, but basically folks that got trapped by coronavirus that are in Thailand have been granted an amnesty for their visa. They've basically just been given an automatic extension until July 31. And I've had some inquiries on this, and people have been asking me, well, can I open a bank account here so I can sort of operate and deal with finances, get money sent to me? Maybe. The answer to that is maybe. And for those who are really interested in this topic, go ahead and contact us. We may be able to assist you. Depending on your circumstances, it might be possible to open a bank account. At the same time, it's very dependent on the bank. It's also very dependent on the personnel of that specific bank. So certain banks are a little bit more accommodating with respect to foreigners, and I don't particularly know why. I think, for example, certain banks sort of view themselves as more corporate-oriented rather than individual-oriented, or some view themselves as more commercially oriented, or even some of them, I think, view themselves as more oriented to financial sort of interbanking services than they are really oriented. And again, they still have a depository function, so they still deal with consumer banking, if you want to call it that. But different banks sort of have different institutional attitudes, if you want to call it that. And so depending on the bank that you're trying to get a bank account set up at, it may be differing degrees of easy or difficult depending on the bank you're trying to use. And as well, if you fall into the visa amnesty, that may have a real impact on your ability to open a bank account here in Thailand, because some may view those folks as being in just sort of an overstay that's just simply not being accrued. You know, it's an amnestied overstay, if you want to call it that, or it's a waived overstay. And those banks might not view that person as being someone they want to open an account for, probably pursuant to their internal KYC or know your customer sort of protocols. Again, very factually dependent. Again, I'm making this in the context of COVID-19, or the information I just imparted was more in the context of COVID-19. From a general standpoint, yeah, it's always possible for a foreigner to get a bank account in Thailand. Again, visa status is going to have a lot to do with it. For those who open a Thai company and are maintaining a work permit in Thailand, then yes, a bank account is definitely a possibility. We assist with that all the time in both a personal as well as a corporate capacity. So it's definitely possible for those with a Thai work permit to obtain a personal Thai bank account as well as a corporate Thai bank account, again, depending on circumstances. And again, different banks deal with this kind of differently. So those who are interested generally in just getting a Thai bank account, certainly go ahead and contact us, especially in a corporate context. Those who are looking at a bank account for personal purposes in the context of being stranded here in Thailand, it may be possible. And if you're looking at that sort of scenario, maybe a good idea to go ahead and contact us, and we may be able to be of assistance.